We would see someone like you and go, gosh, you know, you and your husband have a super successful business. Brent's out there too. Super successful. You were a teacher. Kind of just everything had it together. Why would they do something like this? And so for you, something really tragic happened in your life, and it really led you being open to doing it work. So let's talk about that.
Well, like Tiffany said, my husband and I were very successful in a traditional business, and our lives changed a couple years, several years ago actually, about 7 years ago. Our 4.5-year-old daughter at the time was diagnosed with leukemia. And we were pretty healthy people. We didn't go to the doctor on a regular basis. So that rocked our world. We were told we'd be in the hospital indefinitely, have to go through chemo, bone marrow transplant, and prayed that our daughter made it out alive. So we went to the hospital with the plan of getting her healthy and getting her back out. And things kind of took a turn for worse. She ended up 3 months into her chemo, going into ICU. She coded. We had to live in ICU. My husband and I each lived in a recliner for 4 months and did everything we could to get her back to where she could respond to us again. She was trached, more tubes and lines and medicines than anyone would ever picture going into a little 4-year-old body. But you know, we stuck together. Our family pulled together, our friends pulled together, and we got out of the hospital right around a year later. I took her home, 25 oral and IV medications, and we set up a hospital room in our master bedroom. And it took me about a year to get her weaned off all of that. And it was tough, you know, watching your normal child happy. We had a 2-year-old at the time, you know, trying to raise him and then watching her go through that. And so when we found it works, it was much like one of the other girls said up here, we were doing everything we could to get our daughter healthy. We had been juicing, we had done so many different types of therapies and treatments to get her life, you know, back on track. And that was our main focus. And so when It Works came into our life, I ran into a friend I hadn't seen in a couple years, and she wanted to talk to me about the greens. So I was immediately, yes, save us a lot of time, a lot of money. Like the other lady said, we were spending quite a bit of money to, you know, to juice and things, use those green leafy vegetables. And so I was on board immediately and just so grateful for something that was affordable, and it actually was working for our family to help all of us get healthier. Because, you know, like, I kind of let myself go too. And so when I put on that crazy wrap, I was like, wow, okay, that worked. I'm starting to feel myself come back as I was helping her get her life back. And, you know, it was a very hard time in our life, and we were just so blessed to be able to find It Works, because it has allowed us the time freedom and the financial freedom to travel with her. You know, we spent a week out in California a couple weeks ago with our neurologist doing different types of scans for her brain and what's next on the horizon for her. She's in a wheelchair, and she doesn't talk, she doesn't walk, she doesn't bathe herself, feed herself. So, you know, life's very different. It's been seven years since that all happened, and we're so blessed every day that she's getting healthier. The time freedom that we have and the financial freedom allows us to do so many different things with her that we would have never been able to done before. And it's just life-changing.
Yeah. And we talked like girlfriends would and just said, you know, there's all of us that become moms. The first thing we say is, you know, we just want those 10 fingers and 10 toes and a healthy baby, which, you know, and things happen for people in life, and you took obviously a very big tragedy, and then saw something like this that could get your husband home, have your life back, have your freedom, have your health, and really have it all, even though people thought you already did, which is admirable. And so talk about Brent's roles, because he's an amazing husband, but also really is changed your life with this business, and you had a very pivotal moment, and that was really powerful.
It was our first dash. We were standing in the water. We had taken some of our team out on the boat, and we were we were standing in the water, and he said, "I want you to retire me." And I kind of thought, wow, really? What are we going to do together? Okay.
They can think of something, I'm sure.
And so he said, "No, I'm serious. I want you to retire me. I can see this for our future, for both of us." And I said, "Okay, let's do it." And we had been Triple Diamond for a little while. And so it was after that dash that we got to work, and very shortly after promoted to presidential. And Brent he's always been an amazing husband, amazing father. I mean, everything we've been through, most men would have left. Just so supportive and helpful. But he does a lot with our kids. He's a stay-at-home dad. He gets to take them to school, pick them up from school, go to all their activities. We don't miss events. If mommy's not there, daddy's there. And so he helps with the business. He loves to call our team, and he blitzes like no tomorrow. He's the big blitzer of the family. So he's very supportive and very much 100% on board.
That's so awesome. And yes, give her a hand for sure, please. And the men and the women, I think there's a few women, but when women, most of us see this business, we get married to them and for a reason, right? We want to be with them. We want to be with them forever. And so we get married to be together. And this business has brought so many couples together on so many levels to work together. And for men to just find their role is like, how can we help our wives? And all we're thinking is, how can we get them home to be with us, to have what's important? And we're all so grateful for all of that. So the good life, what's the good life been? Wrap it up, and how's it been? Awesome.
Well, if you see me on Facebook, you see the good life. I love to travel. My husband loves to travel. My kids love to travel. And so we travel a lot. We get to do things as a family that most people dream of and pray one day they'll be able to do. The good life to us is just cherishing every single moment that we're here together, and knowing that with hard work and effort that we are changing other people's lives as well. It's not just about our family living the good life, it's about watching every single one of you out here live the good life with your families.
Awesome.
So I have one last question for all of you. I love doing this. I owe, like so many of you, so many things. This is just a little bit, Well, no, that was just Liz Barton. That's right, Gabe and Liz. Okay. So we've heard about how you're running right now. Now, you have no idea what's getting ready to be announced here in a few minutes. But I'm just curious. You're running right now. A lot of things are happening. And I remember when your name was called and your name was called, and you were like number 26 and 27, and there was like elation. You were excited, but there was also just that little bit of, just a little bit of grit, that grit cue, right? So what are you going to do as soon as this over? Each of you, real quick, just a 15-second answer. What are your plans when you go out there, no matter what happens here, when you go out there and it's the second half of this year? What are your plans in 15 seconds?
Grab as many of my team that wants to come with me straight to the top, and go find anybody and everybody out there in the world that wants to jump on board with this crazy rap thing, and take them all with us. Everyone.
We're not going to reinvent the wheel. We've got everything right here we need. You do the steps to success, you build rubies, you blitz, you rap, you repeat. That's it.
Well, she kind of stole mine, but I was going to say build lots of rubies, because I forget who said it. That ambassador is just a lot of rubies. So stop focusing on, if I don't get diamond in 3 months, I just might as well quit. Focus on building strong.
Awesome. Let's repeat, yes. But also, we have green carpet again in October, and how many of us would love to have boatloads of people here in October to experience what we're all experiencing? So get a lot more here.
I like that. Let's give it up for Staci, Brooke, Susan, and Tiffany.